Hi.
Much better, Anna.
Okay. Maybe not my internet is not good. How about now? Is it better now?
Very clear, Anna.
Okay. So yeah, let me share the screen again. Sorry, guys. There are some issues. So I'll share my screen again. Sorry, guys, for the delay. So Wanakam Jalpanam. And welcome to all to the Salesforce Ohana. And it's a privilege to be part of this, this event, this first community-led Salesforce event of Sri Lanka. And thank you guys for inviting me for this event as a speaker. And also congratulations to all of the, team behind this event. Keep learning, guys, keep networking. And let's move to the discussion. So today I'm going to, introduce a Salesforce DevOps tool called Copado to the Yarl and Sri Lankan Ohana. So before we move to the session, let me introduce myself. Like I'm Hariprasath, originally from Batiklo, and currently working as a senior lead developer and DevOps lead at Maximum Software Services in Canada. And I was a former computer science, student at University of Jaffna, and and worked in 5 different companies in Sri Lanka before moving to Canada. I'm a Salesforce certified professional, and also I'm a Copado MVP champion, and also an architect. So these are the topics that I'm going to cover in this session, right? So I'm going to discuss what is Copado and why it is so important to have in the development and deployment procedure by comparing it with the existing tool like ChangeSet and other tools. And also I will also list down some of the capabilities of Copado, and there'll be a demo. Like it's a very simple scenario. You're going to deploy a few fields, layouts, and profiles classes, between orgs. And also I'll be doing a destructive changes, which means you're going to delete, metadata using Copado. And also finally, I'm going to, discuss about how you can become a Copado expert or a DevOps expert. So as we all know, like in the typical, product development, the source code will be, stored or maintained in a repository, and a build tool, can be used to transform the source code into a product. Then this source will be, the product will be distributed to the customer. But Salesforce, Salesforce itself a product that, that the business can, purchase and run their operation. Let's say if a business wants to develop a custom functionality on top of what Salesforce, offers, they need to have a way to build the functionality and, deploy to the production. Because like you're not allowed to build something on the production, right? So therefore, you need to find a way, right? Therefore, you need to find a way to build and deploy custom functionalities to the production environment. There are different approaches, or there are different ways you can follow to build and deploy the changes. The one is org-based development, so which is widely used one because it exists from the beginning. And the second one is like source-based development. It's like a new way of develop, new way of development using SFDX and some module-based development. And there are a lot. We're not going to discuss anything regarding these approaches in depth. Instead, I'm going to show you how Copado uses org-based development process. but Copado is supports both. Copado supports both the way like oak-based development as well as source-based development. But today we are going to see source-based development deployment procedure. So before moving to see Copado related stuff, first we need to understand why we can't able to use the existing or the out of the box functionalities like out of the box development or deployment tool like ChangeSet. Why we can't use, or what are the challenges you will face when you use this ChangeSet. The first thing is like the Salesforce ecosystem is complex, right? The metadata is really complex. So the you have this nested metadata, and there are a lot of metadata. And also you need to do manual as a developer, you need to do manual things to deploy the changes to the other works. Maybe like you need to create the package.xml, or you need to do a package, you need to create a package to do deployment. So there are a lot of manual tasks there. And also there is no collaboration over there. You just create the package and deploy the whole the metadata will be deployed. You don't have a version controlling over there. So a developer could override some other developers changes. So to to overcome these issues, or like removing these kind of issues, Copado was built. So what is Copado? So Copado is just a tool. Like it's a full Salesforce DevOps platform designed for plan, develop, and deploy changes. And also there are like inbuilt tools like robotic testing and advanced data deployment. And also you can integrate Copado with different tools like Jira, GitHub, any other tools. So with this, we'll be going to see how this Copado, will help the developers to develop and deploy the changes quickly between the orgs without doing any code, or without doing anything. It's just the configuration. You just click buttons. So when you do when you click the button, it will automatically deploy the changes. So you don't need to worry about anything what happened behind the scenes. You don't need to worry about anything. So you just do you just click and it will deploy the changes to your destination in your pipeline. So let's go to the pipeline. So I have created an oak or trailhead playground in Copado community. It's kind of a trailhead, and this one is kind of a trailhead playground. So I created one playground, and this is the governance of, or the production of where Copado is installed. So from this org, the the deployment and all the DevOps orchestration will be happening. And when I go to the this production of or a governance, so you can see I have configured a pipeline similar as it is. So I have two different dev environments and one UAT environment. It's kind of it's like a an integration environment. So it's just the basic pipeline I configured. You can in a typical scenario, you will have like 10 to 15 orgs will be configured. So I created these two environments as a dev environment. So this is where the developers will do their changes, and once they deploy, or once they move the changes to UAT, the actual testing will be happen. So once the just completed, it will be, deployed to production. And also you can see there are, hotfix environment also there. So if you need to do a hotfix, hotfix you can do and directly deploy to production. So the scenario is I'm going to create two different or three different fields in day one environment. So you can see I created three different fields. One is total dep and total valuation and equity. And also I've added these three fields in the account layout, and also give access in the admin profile, and done some manipulation on Apex classes. So once I done the changes, there'll be a user story created for the changes in Copado, or a Salesforce governance. So it's normally a production environment. So this is the user story which is created to do this development and deployment. So once I done the changes as a developer, this will be assigned to me. I just come and select the org. So I've done the changes on day one org. So I just select the day one org and save. So now I updated my user story. So you can see that this bar is coming according to the pipeline. So the pipeline is automatically identified the path that the user story needs to go. Like, so I've done the changes in day one, so it needs to be go to UAT and then production. So it's there in the user story. So once I select the credential, then I need to commit the changes that I created in my day one environment. So I just click the commit changes button. So you don't need to do anything. You are not going to create package.xml or anything. It's just click the button. It will automatically commit the changes to your feature branch. Yeah, okay. So now you can see, like, you'll see this page with all the metadata available in day one environment. So if you're creating a new field, you need to refresh the metadata to select those fields. Since I have already created these fields, I just selected. So you can see that my fields are already there in the list. So you can just click the fields. And also I added these fields in a layout, so I can filter this with the metadata type. So I just click this one, and I added the account layout, and also I give the permission to admin profile. So I need to select the profile, and also I created some classes to do some manipulation for this user story. So I created a count trigger and trigger handler and a test. So you can see what are the metadata that you going to commit for this particular functionality. So then just commit these changes in a user story. So you're not doing anything. It's just commit these metadata to a feature branch. So it will take some time committing the user story. So I'm not going to talk what is happening, in behind the scene. Maybe, maybe in the future, I'll do a session explaining the data model of Copado, what is the user story and what is a project and what is sprint. So if you're a Salesforce developer or a software developer, you could understand what is sprint and user stories and stuff, right? So normally you're creating user stories to create a simple functionality when you do a big release or something. So here you can see I committed this this metadata to this user story. I can click this click this open pull request to see what are the metadata that I committed. So here you can see it is automatically identified the base branch as UAT, because you are going to deploy the changes to UAT. So you just verify the changes. So once all good, okay. So everything is new, so all good. I can come back to the user story and come back to the user story, and also uh, I can run the test, because I added a class and a test class in the user story, right? So if you want to, if you need to deploy this user story to production, it should be, it should be 100%, or more than 75%. You need to, this test classes should be passed more than 75%. So you can, just click the manage Apex test to run the, test classes against the destination of. So you're going to deploy this user story to UAT. So you just click the run Apex test. So you can see it's very, it's really easy, as you just click button to do everything. You don't need to do anything, behind the scenes. It's all buttons and UI. So the Apex test is run against the destination of according to the pipeline. So you can see that I have just one method, so it's 100%, and you can get the difference between the method coverage and trigger coverage and class coverage and everything from this Apex test run. So once this is run, you can see that these fields got updated, saying that this coverage is 100%. So when you deploy this to production, there will be no issues. Otherwise, it won't allow you to deploy to production. So you need to come back to your day one environment to resolve those issues. So once you committed and run the test class, you can validate the changes again, the UAT environment. So if you need to deploy, you can just click this button to validate the changes. So it will do a validation deployment to the UAT environment. And if all good, if the validation is passed, you just submit the user story to deploy to UAT. Then this will automatically notify the technical lead to deploy to UAT. Yeah, it's taking some time. It will take some time to do these things. So once so when you are using Copado, you will understand what is happening when you click the button and what are the steps that Copado is using in the background. But I'm not going to talk today. Maybe in another session in the future, I'll be talking this one, or I'll explain this one in the future. So you can see that this user story got validated. This is the promotion. These are the records that Copado is creating. So I'm not going to I'm not explaining these things. So it's this user story got validated against UAT. So then you just submit this button. So as a developer, you just submit this. You just click this submit button. Once you click this submit button, when you go back and refresh the pipeline, you can see one user story is, the one user story is ready to deploy to UAT. So as a developer, you just click this one, one user story and promote and deploy. So when you do this, when you click this promote and deploy button, this will automatically trigger the product, the deployment, actual deployment. Once this is completed, you'll see the changes, or you'll see the update on the pipeline. So when you go to the pipeline, so this is the pipeline. So you can see the whole orchestration over here. Submitted. Okay. So you can see there is a gleam over here in UAT, so which means the actual user story is going to deploy to UAT. So once this is done, you can just do the same thing, like you just click the submit button to do the production. So let's say like after you deploy this user story to UAT, you realize that you need to do some changes, on this particular user story, or maybe like you need to change the layout. You need to change the layout, or you need to update the layout in the dev1 environment. So what you need to do is you just go back to your dev1 environment. This is the dev1 environment, and you just do the update. So for example, I'm going to drag this the fields like this, and I just save this layout in the dev1 environment. And then I come back to the same user story. I don't need to create a different user story. I just use the same user story and change my credentials. So it's currently it's changed to UAT. Now I can change to dev1 to update that layout, or update and deploy the layout. So once once I change the credential to dev1, then I need to commit back the layout, since I've done the changes in layout. So I can I can commit the layout again and just commit, or you can recommit or commit. So it will take some time, maybe. Yeah. So in the meantime, I could like show you what are the different operations you can select when you do user story commit. So first thing is like you can commit the metadata, or you can recommit the metadata. Recommit means you can recommit the whole metadata. Or there's another operation called destructive changes. So if you want to delete something, or if you need to do a destructive metadata, then you can use this destructive changes operation. So when you do this destructive changes, commit, this will automatically find the nested component. For example, if you delete a field, this will automatically commit the nested profile and layouts handle. And there is a full profile and permission set operations to use when you create a new permission set, or a new profile. you don't need to, select the nested metadata like fields and account and anything. So it will automatically just retrieve the whole profile and or permission set and commit. And so let's say so I've done this, I've done the update on the layout. And when I click the open pull request, you can see the changes. So you can see there is, not all the metadata is coming over here. So it's just the changes you've done. So you just place this particular field in the right hand side. So only the changes that you made will come to deploy when you do update on the user story. So then what you need to do is since it's already validated, you can just submit this user story. So when you submit, you need to do the same thing, right? When you click refresh, you can see that one user story is available to deploy. So you can deploy it to UAT and production, and also you can back promote these user stories to Dev 1 to sync the pipeline. Otherwise, the pipeline will be out of sync, and there will be a lot of issues will arise. So I think that's about how Copado can be used to deploy a user story quickly without any knowledge. Like you don't need to worry about you don't need to know about any Git related knowledge or anything. You just come and click some buttons. So it's all UI. With the UI you can deploy changes without any issues. Okay. And the last thing, I'm going to talk about how you can become a Copado expert. So you can join to the Salesforce DevOps community. So I can show you where you can. So this is the Copado community where you can register and do trainings, right? There is a academy which is similar as Trailhead, where you can do courses, and also you can register for the exams, and you can become a Copado certified professional. And also there are programs available. You can you can register for this mentorship program where you will be assigned a mentor to become a Copado professional. And yeah, you'll be getting Copado vouchers today, maybe with the guys there, and you can learn about Copado and also DevOps practices for Salesforce, and to become a Copado professional. And yeah, if you have any question, I don't think I have enough time to answer any questions, but if you have any question, please reach me via LinkedIn. I'll be happy to help you guys. Even for Salesforce or Copado related or DevOps related questions, please reach me, guys. Thank you, and thank you guys for inviting me. And let's meet sometimes in person. Hello.
Thank you, Harry,